Hello, I'm Michael Heimel.
And I'm Alex Lesner. And welcome back to the Johnnie Bennie Campus News, your news channel for updates on campus life and events.
Ever wonder what happened to the food that's not eaten at Gorecki Dining? Well, this week, JBCN anchor Elijah Brown goes behind the scenes of Gorecki's waste collection program. Let's take a look.
I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. Sometimes we don't always finish all the food we take. Today, we are going to talk to Gorecki Dining staff about what happens to all the uneaten food. We'll also take a look at their wasteway program.
My name is Rachel Schneider, and I am the registered dietitian and assistant manager for residential dining. And in culinary services, my role is I help manage our professional and student staff that work in the front of house. And then I also work with the nutrition education efforts that we do as part of culinary. I coordinate with students with special dietary needs and many more additional tasks, as well as one day a week I spend doing nutrition counseling at our campus wellbeing center.
I am Shelby Stovern. I am a senior here at CSB-SJU. I am studying nutrition dietetics with a minor in chemistry. Here at CSB Culinary Services, I work with Rachel Schneider, our campus dietitian, and a team of nutrition assistants as the nutrition assistant supervisor. My role in the Wasteway program is kind of to organize and collaborate with all of the staff and volunteers that help carry out these wasteways. So I pick a date and kind of reflect on the menu for that time. So we want to make sure that we're serving the same things with our front of house and behind the house events. And so once the date is picked, I schedule and kind of facilitate discussion around each event, making sure that everyone's contributing and taking part of it so it could be successful.
What happens when plate waste returns to our dish room? So we have staff that take that food off of the tray return, and that gets scraped into our pig barrels, which then periodically that gets picked up, generally on a weekly basis by a local hog farmer.
These wasteways happen once a month during the dining session. We took a video of the pig barrel at the start of the night and again at the end of the night.
So when we began the pig barrel program, which I believe was in fiscal year 13, and we're in fiscal year 23, so about 10 years now, the pig barrel program was started to as an alternative to the landfills, and it was chosen to be ideally a more sustainable effort for us to undertake than something like composting. And that's something I actually heard from our sustainability office. One of their previous employees had let us know that that was more sustainable for us to be doing rather than composting. So it was one of the endeavors undertaken by Culinary Services to be more sustainable is to find a place for that that waste that we generate in the kitchens and from the food returned to our dish room, to have a place for that to go.
This monthly data affects how Gorecki operates behind the scenes, but how does it affect the CSB-SJU community?
The data from the waste is used to create signage and kind of just posters for the wasteways. So we use it to kind of make fun facts to share with our community around food waste. So for example, we'll convert the amount, like total pounds, into like how many meals were wasted or how many drinks were wasted, or we'll maybe do like this amount of weight is equivalent to like this fun object. Just kind of to share what we found and just share it with the community.
Ultimately, I think the takeaway message that we were wanting our students and our guests to know is that we're measuring the wasteways, or we're completing the wasteways to measure that edible plate waste, but without any intention of shaming anyone for generating any waste. We understand that food waste is going to be a part of a food service operation.
Overall, here at CSB Culinary Services, we want our guests, students, and staff to be well nourished and taken care of. So with that, the Waste Ways, I think, is a way to bring awareness to food waste and how much is occurring here on campus. But again, we want to be intentional and of our hunger cues and know that we all can take part of reducing food waste.
Signing off for JBCN, this is Elijah Brown.
Thanks, Elijah. The total food waste in the October weigh was 63.80 pounds, which is approximately 49.1 meals. Comparing that to last month, we as a community wasted 14.62 pounds less of food. For more information on CSB Culinary Services or how to nourish your body, visit csb-sju.edu/CSB Culinary Services.
Now we go to Peyton Nelson with this week's Sports Roundup.
Hi, I'm Peyton Nelson, and welcome to this week's Sports Roundup. Last weekend, the St. John's football team defeated St. Scholastica 56-6. This win boosted the Johnnies up to number 4 in the national rankings. This Saturday, the Johnnies will face off against Carleton at home in a battle for the division championship. The St. Ben's volleyball team will face off against Gustavus in the MIAC semifinals tonight. The Bennies hold the number 5 seed, and the Gusties hold the number 1 seed. The St. John's soccer season has officially come to an end after a 1-0 loss against Gustavus. The Johnnies finished their season with a record of 8 wins, 7 losses, and 3 ties. The St. Ben's soccer team lost their MIAC semifinal match against St. Catherine's in overtime to penalties. The Bennies finished their season with 12 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties. The St. John's cross-country team finished second out of 11 teams in the MIAC championship this past Saturday. Junior Lloyd Young earned his second All-MIAC honors after finishing 4th out of 169 runners. Junior Fiona Smith won her second consecutive MIAC championship this past weekend. Smith's final time was clocked in at 21 minutes and 14 seconds. The Bennies finished 3rd place overall as a team. The St. John's Ultimate Frisbee team competed in a Halloween tournament this past weekend in Rochester. The Johnnies went 4-2 on the weekend, including wins over UW Stout and Whitewater. That's all for this week's Sports Roundup. As always, best of luck to all our Johnnie and Bennie athletes competing, and don't forget to tune in next week for all your sports news.
In Senate updates, the CSB Senate funded $1,500 for Johnny Day t-shirts for Bennies in addition to the constitutional review.
This week, the SJU Senate funded $2,500 for Flinttown Sunday dinners, $800 for an upcoming golf event, $2,500 for more Johnny Day shirts, and $565 for Benny Day shirts for Johnnies.
Thank you. That's all for this week. Be sure to tune in next time for updates on campus life and events.